The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us here at FRC Media. And just about every Wednesday, we spend a few moments with Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm doing good, Keith. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I want to start with, again, what happened last night at the Fall River City Council meeting. You sent in a second request to have the council vote take the interim tag off the appointment of Kelly Furtado as Chief of Police. The City Council used a procedural move. There was an objection which sort of puts the vote off for another couple of weeks. Let me just ask you, what was the rationale? I mean, the initial appointment was rejected 2 weeks ago. What was the rationale in sending that appointment back up?
In conversations with the counselors, they said, she's the best candidate, send her back down. We'll be fine. And I don't know that if we didn't get the objection that she wouldn't have been. So we've been talking about it this morning in between meetings all morning. So we'll decide the best course of action going forward and continue onward. She's still there now for her 90 days. And we have the option for a few more. So we just want the police department running well. And we think right now she's the best candidate.
2 weeks ago, the vote was 5-4 to reject the appointment. There needed to be one of those, rejection votes going the other way. Did you feel that you had that? And that's another reason why you put that up?
Yeah, we did. We felt that we had it. We were hoping we had more than one, but we were pretty sure we had one. And again, people vote different ways, different times. We might have lost one, but at the same time, I thought that, again, she was the best candidate and we wanted to do what was best for the police department. So, I was very comfortable with her. I think if they had studied her submission that showed what's gone on in the police departments in her 4 or 5 months she's been there, they would have looked at it extremely positively. But again, that's the council, and they have their own responsibilities, and they exercise them.
There was also a discussion last night about the process of selecting not only the police chief, but potentially the fire chief, who is appointed by civil service. I mean, that's a different process than the police chief. Moving forward, as long as you're in that office, if there were to be an ordinance about setting up a special screening committee for those positions, would you be comfortable with that in terms of that initial process?
Yeah, I did that with Cardozo. We did a screening committee. It just so happened that when Chief Garvin came in, he followed the same path and trajectory of Kelly Furtado, and I was at least trying to be consistent there. When we did Cardozo, it was a different time, and we had a panel. There were two strong candidates in at that time vying for the position. So the panel made the call. When it was Chief Garvin, he was a captain, same as Furtado. He was interim, and he transitioned over to permanent. It was a 50-something second meeting. There was a unanimous vote, and there was little to no discussion. I thought that this would go similar to that. I was wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but at the same time, I thought it would go something like that. It didn't work out. We go forward.
It seems like on these types of issues, when it's a local election year, there tends to be a little more tension between the council and your office. I mean, some of it is just, natural disagreement. I mean, do you feel the same way that this year tends to be a little different?
Yeah, it's part of politics, and you have to roll with it. And that's where we are. So, I mean, again, I'm sure it'll all work out in the long run. And again, our main responsibility, no matter who's chief, no matter who's mayor, no matter who's on the council, is keeping the city safe. And that's what our focus should be altogether. And just picking the best person to lead that department is where we are now.
All right. The other bit of news from yesterday's city council meeting, at the end of the meeting, Councilor Laura Sampson resigned from her post as a city councilor. She had already made it clear that she wasn't going to run for re-election this year. There was a media report about her connections with the police department and surrounding the chief's appointment, and that her brother is president of one of the unions of the police force, and there could be a conflict of interest. There was also some potential connection that was made in the report about her day job in the mental health industry. I know you've worked with her a lot over the years, and let me just ask you your thoughts about her resignation and how she served as a counselor.
Yeah, I think it's sad. She was a good counselor. She's a good friend. I think she, has made a very positive commitment to the community, and I will miss her. But, going forward, I met with the new council this morning, Ricky Tith. I've known him. He's been on the ballot for the last few elections. So, we'll see how things go, and we'll work with the council that's in front of us, and that's just what we have to do. And like I said, I've known Ricky from the. I go to a lot of his events he has, both at the restaurant, and he used to have them at another spot. But we'll be fine. Everything will work out, and I will miss Laura.
Yeah. All right, and finally this week, I've asked you a number of times about this. Budget season is we're pretty much in it now. I know you haven't officially submitted the city's budget. How is that working out rather, and the time frame to submit probably in May, in a few weeks?
Yeah, we've been having meetings department by department. We had 3 this morning: traffic, health, and engineering planning. We go over line by line their budget, where there's increases, where there's decreases, what they're looking for, and we try to build the budget, using the zero-based budget method. Emily and Cedric have both been doing a great job. They've come up, they're well prepared, they have the documentation in front of them. And when we're done, all the departments, we'll compile it all into the big book, and we'll be ready to submit it to the council. We'll bring them in. Hopefully they come in to have their budget meetings with us, and we'll go over the changes and what they think. And maybe when we submit it, we'll be fine if we can just do all of our homework before we go down.
Yeah. You didn't mention the interim CFO. Is your intent to partially make her full-time CFO?
Well,
and also, let me just ask you: has there been any movement in terms of a new city administrator?
No, city administrator has been quiet. Emily is getting her trial run right now through the budget process. What I've seen has been excellent. She has a good team going down there now. It seems like they have a handle on things. She's doing a little bit differently, but she's working. I thought she did a nice job in front of the council last night, and we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I told her that when she came on as an interim. I said, we'll see how you do with this budget, which is obviously the biggest piece of any CFO's year. Tons of stuff in between the 2 budgets, don't get me wrong, but the major action is making sure that budget is balanced and in front of the council on the timeline that we're required to do. And she's moving in that direction, so let's keep going to work, and we'll finish this up.
All right, Mayor Paul Coogan, as always, thank you for your time. We'll talk next week. Take care.
Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you for joining us here on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week.